part number 2 of the 2010 CVO we're working on. Now we're going to put a set of Avon heated grips on. Nice thing about these Avon heated grips is there's no rheostat on the end. Rheostat gets hot, and that's usually why the left side grip is junk on the Harley Davidson heated grips. Simple little control box to wire in, and then you have a high, off, and low button. We're going to start by putting this fender protector on the front so that you do not scratch the expensive paint job, which is nearly impossible to match up. But I do know a paint who can. Then we're going to take the ditch lights off, we're going to take the windshield off, pull the fairing off. Unplug these passing lamps so that they're not just hanging here from the harness for the next few hours. Now we do have to pull the controls off because they're covering the holes in the handlebars. Take the T25 Torx for your switch housing caps and your T27 for your master brake and clutch perch. Take the ignition switch out. I did a little step while you weren't watching. I flipped my fairing forward. I'm trying to save this customer a lot of times by not pulling the handlebars off. The right grip is really easy to remove. Just unplug this cap, then you reach in with a set of pliers and unplug the little connector out of your twist grip sensor. There you go, that's your right grip. Hard for me to get right in here with the camera and show you exactly what I'm doing. You want to find the wires for your left heated grip, unplug them. One is a 3-wire plug and the other is a 2-wire plug. We're not going to be reusing these. What we're going to do is just cut the ends off, tie a string through it, and try and pull them through. Your 2-wire plug is the connection between the left grip and the right grip. We have our pull wire tied to the bottom end of the wires of our left grip. We're going to slowly pull this left grip out and pray that this pink wire and string comes with us. Fortunately, that didn't work for us this time. So I'm going to take a black marker, mount these handlebars, mark these handlebars and this riser cap exactly where these bars are so we don't have to readjust them. Then we're going to take these 4 bolts out, pull the handlebars off, and just do it on the bench. All right, we get the old wires pulled out now. String left there to pull the new ones back through. Here's a quick rundown on your wiring. Here is the pigtail coming down from your right throttle by wire grip. Your right grip plugs back into your twist grip sensor, which will initially be these 2 wires coming out here. You're going to have a red and a white coming in from the end for your left grip. And at the same time you pull your left grip wire down, you have your 3 wires from your switch, which are going to go in the hole here and are going to come down here. Pretty easy, color coded here, yellow, orange, and blue. Then your right grip goes into here, red and black. And then 2 power wires which are fused, black and red. You're going to want to feed the wires, the black and the red, from your left grip. Out, through the end of the bars, and out your switch wire hole. See, I put some shrink tube on the 3 switch wires. And you're going to take these 5 wires, stagger them a little bit, tie your string to it and tape it all off. Since we had to pull our bars off to pull the wires, we might as well do most of our wiring and soldering on the bench. So we're going to connect our wires from our left grip to our right grip right now. Solder them up. I don't like connectors because stuff comes apart. So red on white, black on black. So now that we have our bars wired up, we want to get our bolts and our tools all laying here on a cloth on the seat. Carefully set our bar back in there. Earlier when we took this apart, we put a mark on our bars so we know where to line them up again. Start our bolts by hand so we know we're not going to cross thread something. Tighten all 4 of those up, just enough to hold the bars in place. And once again, we want to make sure that our gap on the front and the back of our clamp is exactly the same, so we get even clamping pressure all the way around the handlebars. Now that we have our bars clamped down, wires somewhat fed through, we're going to lift up this fairing carefully, set it back into place so we can plug in all our wiring. Now you're going to have your gray connector on the left side to plug in. You're going to have a black on the right side. You're going to have your throttle by wire connection right around here somewhere, 6 wires. And you're going to plug in your wiring harness that you wired into your original 3-prong connector for your heated grips. Then we're going to zip tie everything up out of the way again, move our handlebars back and forth to make sure nothing is binding, and put our outer fairing back on. The thing I can't stress enough about zip ties is you want to make sure, if you like them as much as I do, never ever over tighten them. If you tighten them too much, you're going to have problems with wiring, having gremlins, because the wires will break inside the housing and you won't directly see them. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe in the late 90s, early 2000s, Harley had a recall on their wiring harnesses where the zip ties were actually too tight, and they were having that exact problem. So just like the grips we took off, we're going to have to plug these in. I like to test my grips before I assemble my controls. The Avon grips have a cap on the end which is reverse thread. Pull the wires out. Sometimes you need a pair of needle nose pliers. Just grab them. Plug them in. Start them on low. Once you feel heat, click them up to high. Make sure they're working, and then you can assemble the rest of your controls. Making sure you don't pinch your wires up in the handlebars here where your perch caps go on. So now we're going to put the switch cover back on. This one had 2 connectors. So we're gonna carefully plug those back in. Now you're gonna put your ignition switch indicator plate on. Put the black plastic spacer on. Put spacer number 2 on, which only goes one way. And you're gonna put your top nut on. We're gonna be really careful here because when we took this apart, it was loose. So you don't want to over tighten this because your ignition switch base is plastic. I see them broken all the time. Well, that one felt good going together. Now you want to drop your ignition switch in. Easy way to do that is by this tool from Jim's. Once it's lined up and the mark that's supposed to face towards the tank is lined up, drop it in. Turn your key back to where it's supposed to be. Unlock. And you are ready to roll. There we go. We are done. The fairing back on. We're going to plug our passing lamps in and carefully let them hang so we can slide our fairing on. So we're gonna plug our headlight bulbs in. Green is the top, yellow is the bottom. Now we'll pull our tank protectors off. Front fender protector. Now you have a really nice set of heated grips. The only thing you see is this here, high, low. Nice and clean like it should be. Thanks for watching today while we did the heated grips on this 2010 CVO Ultra. Let us know if we missed anything or if you need any more tips somewhere else. Please put it in the comment section below, and we'll do the cam chest kit tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and also like my videos. It helps me get more out there. Thank you.